Hey, everybody. The McRib is back. Welcome to Do It Like Danny.
Never even had one of those.
I'm going to tell a million stories, and maybe one will hit home, and you'll be like, wow, that happened to me. And it's not about me. Well, it is. You know, television is a very, very crazy beast. I learned so much at Tyra. This is real emotion. This is something that I experienced.
I want the world to see what I have always seen, and that is the love that you have for just being yourself.
I love this person who knows who he is, who can make people laugh.
I think the script I gave you was a little bit different, but I'll take that.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm drinking at work because it's my show. I drink on my show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching today, listening, doing all your amazing things that you normally do, whether you're walking, Angelo, or whether you're drinking, Darnella. And thank you to all friends and family who support, who listen, who support me in definitely way more than one, more ways than one. I'm dyslexic. Anyways, thank you, and welcome back. The holidays have been upon us, and it's been very busy, and also more holidays are coming up. It feels like December is just
zooming by.
It's
already.
zooming by. And speaking of zooming by, hi Louie, welcome.
I'm good. How are you? How you doing? I don't seem to be talking to you much in the last few weeks.
I know.
You're
You need
really
to
busy.
fucking talk. Can you contribute, please?
I'm trying.
What's going on with you?
So I just want to say thank you to everybody for alerting me last Wednesday, because I forgot to upload the video, but there's a reason for that. So I do appreciate it because Angela was the first one, and then I started checking all my Instagram messages, and oh my God, everybody's like, where's the video? Where's everything going? I was like, oh God, okay. So thank you for all that, because sometimes I do need a little help, but that specific day is kind of what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Because there was a reason why I was in Hollywood, and there was a reason why I couldn't leave.
And but wait, for all those people that don't know, if you're just watching for the first time or just backstory, so we always premiere on Spotify and iTunes on Monday, where it's audio only. And for you avid listeners, thank you so much. You probably already know this, but if you haven't, like I said, and then on Wednesday, we premiere with our video on YouTube, and we try to make it different so you have something different to listen to. So on this particular day, it was Wednesday morning, and it was, what time was it, I think? Like
I got the message around probably, I want to say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
And it was, America's #1 fan. It was Cousin Angelo. And of course, Cousin Angelo was saying, where is the episode? What's happening? And then it was like, oh my God, I'm working. I too was working. So all the alarms were sounding, and I'm like, there's nothing that I can do. It's not in my hand. So I sent a message to Louis, and now begins Louis's part.
Okay, so as a lot of you have been following us, you know that my cousin has gone through a lot in Hollywood. He's given you a lot of behind-the-scenes stories, a lot of the issues, and kind of the weird culture that's there. A lot of yes people and a lot of people who want to backstab and do all that kind of things, right? So my mom, for the last, I want to say maybe 10 years, has been working in the decorating business for some of the biggest Hollywood elites. In fact, one of them happened to be one of your ex-bosses at CBS. But we won't name names because I got into a heated kind of debate with my mom. But I told her this story needs to be told because it goes with the theme of why we started this, correct? So that day, Wednesday, we were in Hollywood decorating for a very, very, very well-named, I want to say it's either a producer, it could be a director, it could be an executive. Can't necessarily say, but
Someone in the business.
Someone in the business who is big. So my mom has actually gotten a lot of her jobs through word of mouth, and this was no different. This one lady that she's been decorating her house for, like I said, for probably about 10 years, has never had any problems with my mom, and again, offered her this job, and my mom took it. It was a little last minute, but we took it anyways. My mom didn't have any help that day, so I said, it's okay, I'll go and help you. Not really doing much right now. So we met up in Sherman Oaks around 6:30, and we headed out into Hollywood. My mom told me who it was. I was kind of like in shock because I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool to meet this person or, kind of rub shoulders.
Do I know this person?
I don't know if you know them personally. I didn't know who it was until she told me, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Okay.
So we get there, and this particular client only wanted to put up garland in their home, around their staircase, and above their fireplace. Real easy job. It only took us about 4 hours. So we go in there, we do the job, make sure it's all good and done. We were in and out. Bam, 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 right? My mom's really happy. I'm really happy. We get paid. The assistants walk us out. Never hear. You think we wouldn't hear anything about it, right? I wake up the next morning, and my mom sends me this scathing text message. I mean, it's from top to bottom. It takes the whole screen. I'm like, what's going on? So apparently, said executive was not happy with the work that we had done. And I'm going to show some pictures so you guys can see what we did. Now, my mom, in order for her to do her job, has to go out, quote the job, and then, of course, she's going to ask questions. So you don't want this? Are you sure you don't want that? She's been doing it for how long? Again, she's done some of the biggest Hollywood elites' homes. Well, apparently, this executive wanted more because what they ordered is not what they wanted. So my mom was under the impression that, again, we did a great job. We did exactly what they asked for, exactly what they ordered. Sure, while we were looking at it, we're like, yeah, it needs a little bit more, like things that you would expect for the Christmas and the Jewish holiday that is coming up. Somebody made that mistake. You know how Hollywood execs are. They only want to pay for so much, and then they want to try and get things from you for free. So this executive wrote to the person who recommended my mom, the one that she's been doing work for all these years. Again, never had any problems, never had any issues. They wanted us to go back, redo it on our dime for free. And I don't know how much the job cost. It wasn't my business to know. But my mom was pretty upset because we had done exactly what they asked for, but they were trying to screw my mom over. And my mom couldn't believe that this person that she had worked for, had no other issues with, was trying to get her to go help this other executive and do it on her dime. So that was what was the drama for me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So did your mom have to go back, or?
So the conclusion is my mom said no. She's like, I've been doing this lady's house for so long. She's recommended me to so many people. I've never had any other issues before. She could not understand. And I told her, I go, Mom, there's one thing that you've learned from watching our show. This is how that culture is. If they can try and get more out of you for free, they're going to. But an extra $1,000 doesn't cost them anything. But it's the fact that they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah. And also, too, like, whatever they wanted, was it that much more exorbitant? And, like, I mean, I don't know what the person actually wanted. But.
So their complaint was that it just looked really plain. But, again, if that's all you order and you signed off on that order and you read that order, what else do you expect us to do? We're not going to read your mind. We're going to do exactly what you paid us to do.
Yeah.
And so the next day, after all the dust settled, it was confirmed that one of the three women that managed this particular executive made that mistake. And it was her fault, what do you call those assistants? Somebody signed off on that. And I'm sure they got reamed out for that. But they didn't want to take the blame. They wanted to blame us.
Oh, now that you said that.
They wanted to throw
Hollywood.
us under the bus.
That's Hollywood. That's a lot. That's the handlers. I call them the handlers. It's always those handlers, and, like, no offense, they're the kiss asses. Yes. and they're the yes people. They don't know how to say no because they're probably making a nice living wage, and it's their job to deal with the shit.
Yeah.
So if that particular assistant made a mistake, he or she was probably trying to cover it up.
Yep.
Yeah. And oh my God, that's crazy. It's good that your mom stuck her heels in the sand and said no then, and made sure that they knew that she was not coming back and that she was hired exactly what they hired her to do. Mm-hmm. That's great. That's very me. Like, I feel like that's something that I would definitely do. Like,
it's funny because she said she'd do it like Danny.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to do it like Danny.
That's kind of funny. I feel like when executives have approached me in the past and have asked for, something, perfect example, executives change shows all the time, right?
Yeah.
And, as an audience producer, they always thought I was shit anyway. So it wasn't like, I'm fine. If I'm shit, then I'm shit. No big deal, right? I'm going to make this shit shine. And so it actually had to do with Holly Robinson Pete, whatever. I always mess up her name. So sorry, Holly. She was never mean to me, so I can't really be mean about it.
Yeah.
But what did come down the wire was she was a big proponent for Autism Speaks. And there was supposed to be an autism segment. And so they asked me, Danny, can you book families, with autistic kids? Great, no problem. I can totally do it, right? And I had done it. My team had done it.
Yeah.
And together, everybody. And so, once you work on a show, you move on. Because you've got holidays, birthdays, like there's other shows, like some producers would be working on maybe 2 or 3 shows in terms of content.
Yeah.
Where I was working on specialty audiences across the board, right? And I'm not saying that like I did more work, and that's not the point of the story.
Yeah.
The point of the story is I had a few more things a few more pokers in the fire, if you will, right? No big deal, because that's what they hired me to do. So in this particular day, the segment came, and so we're looking to the rundown, and there's no mention of it. Well, these people came, the Autism Speaks people, and they were like, in blue, and they were representing, and it was a wonderful thing, but they didn't mention anything about it. Well, in the system, they had changed and moved the segment to a different day. However, nobody told me. And of course, probably now that I think back on it, should I have been paying attention to it? I probably should have.
Yeah.
Like, I got to take responsibility for it. But at the end of the day, when I'm doing all these other different things, you think somebody would have said, hey, we know you have specialty audience coming. Can you do me a favor and do this instead?
Yeah, take care of it,
right?
yeah.
I got an email from Holly that had all of the executives CC'd on it.
Oh, okay.
Right? And she sent me an email saying, I felt so horrible. This is my reputation. And she was right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is her reputation. And I just said to her, Holly, I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, they changed the segment. I have no control over that. We had already booked these people.
Yeah.
However, we'll invite them again. We'll give them VIP seating. We'll figure something out. Like, I always have, a system in place in case of an emergency,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so there was a whole thing put in place, but she kept going. And she kept going and she kept going. And meanwhile, all the executives are on this. Not one executive
Said a word
and chimed in and said, hey, Holly, sorry that happened. We do change things. Danny was doing his job, because the principals don't run the show.
Yeah.
The producers and the executives do. But not one person on that team chimed in and defended me.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to be defended. Maybe, but I stayed true. I didn't falter. And to this day, in those emails, I stayed strong and I said, it is what it is. We have to move on. Once you book something, we move on.
Yeah.
We don't sit there and I don't monitor that particular segment to see. And yes, things change all the time.
It's fluid, like you said.
And she should have remembered that things change all the time.
Yeah.
And somebody should have been, the producer that was in charge of that particular segment.
Shouldn't they have let her know?
Have said something to her and said something to me.
Yeah.
That's really crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Now, did that ever happen again? Absolutely not, because I made sure of it. Now, there was another time, too, when, I'll never forget this, and I was fairly new at Tyra. We were filming in Los Angeles, and it was like a Halloween episode, right?
Yeah.
Well, nobody had informed me that in the middle of the Halloween episode, they were going to shoot a pre-tape performance. I don't remember who, it was with some rapper or singer. And so they were going to do shots of the audience. Well, hello, the audience was in Halloween costumes. Nobody told me that they weren't supposed to dress up.
Oh, wow.
So here I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, look at all of these people. I go into the meeting and I'm like, oh my God, everybody's dressed up for Halloween. And the executives look at me and go, what? You didn't get the email? And I'm like, no, I didn't get an email. Well, we 86'd that because there was going to be a performance in the middle of that particular taping that's going to air at a later date. And we're going to use those shots of the audience, right?
So what'd you have to do?
So they wrote it in the script where Tyra says to the audience, now take your Halloween costumes off, right? And now we're going to watch this, performance by T.I. or somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I look terrible. Even though I was so excited because they had all dressed up and these people looked great. LA loves to do Halloween.
Yeah.
So people were like in these really elaborate costumes. And it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so what I think they ended up doing is they had to keep, because, some of the shots had audience in them. So it wasn't like they could do different shots to the audience. You know, sometimes, actually a lot of shows, they will insert energetic people, pretty. They'll insert, energetic people that are like really into it. And in this particular instance, they
were stuck with
the Halloween people. So that was actually a lot of fun. So those are two examples where, yes, things do change.
Yeah.
And are people in charge of that? Absolutely, right? Because remember, I'm the lowest one on the totem pole. So it's not like, and I'm not trying to like say it wasn't my fault. Again, I have to take responsibility for that particular, those episodes, those instances. I mean, that's interesting that assistant. And I was always told, even in the business, if you make a mistake, you should be the first one to tell on yourself.
Yeah.
And I always was like that. I always told myself first if I made a mistake. And thinking back, if I made a mistake, I would own up to it.
Yeah.
It's a bummer though that your mom fell prey. Now,
yes,
think for a hot second. That was one moment. Think of all the executives. Think of all the people that are in the business in this area. Think of all the opportunities for a mistake to have been made. And think of all of those handlers that never came forward and owned up to it.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of people with a lot of talent. Your mom is extremely talented in her decorative things, right?
Yes.
She's been doing it forever. As far as I can remember, too, when she worked over there in Northridge. Like, forever, right? And that store is gone already. But, just all of the things that she's done. So I couldn't imagine. But it's good. It's good that she stood her ground and she didn't, cave in to the pressure of another executive.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and she felt bad, I mean, my mom's 60-something years old. When you make an old lady cry, that was pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
Because I did it myself. I was with her. We did damn good work, and we were in and we were out. We didn't leave no mess. We didn't damage anything. I made sure to do a walk around multiple times. I swept everything that we were doing. And, we were happy. We went out to lunch. It was a good day, only to turn it around. Some fucked up executive with a stick up her ass reading her script. And I met her. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said her. Whatever. I met this particular executive, and she went upstairs. I'm going to go read my script. Now, she had a nice house and everything. But, yeah, she was a bitch. Yeah, it was really upsetting.
But then also, too, you don't know if it was like so much she was the bitch, too. It could have been the handler that kind of got involved and said, well, I told them. I mean, we really don't know. Yeah. There's always three sides. Yours, theirs, and the truth.
Well, she didn't look happy when we left. And I noticed that. My mom didn't, but I did.
Oh.
And I looked at her as she was saying goodbye to my mom, and I go, Mom, she didn't look very happy. And we didn't really put two and two together because, again, we did what we were paid to do. The invoice said, no ribbons, no bows, just greenery.
Wow.
And that's it. That's what they paid for. When we left, they didn't say, oh, we thought it was going to have ribbons and bows. They handed us our check. Nobody said a word. Even the lady saw it. Didn't say a word.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't in that moment. That was when she should have said something.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that this was going to be this, or I thought that this was going to be that. Then you have an opportunity to fix it that moment.
Yeah.
But the fact that she let your mom leave, and then she kind of pondered it and festered over it, and then it gets worse.
Yeah, and then she wrote the email to the friend. She didn't write the email to my mom. She went to the lady that recommended my mom. And that's how all that bullshit started.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama. And then there's even more to it, but that's the general basis of it.
And so now, though, it's probably going to make that executive in her mind think that she's going to look bad. And then it's a whole snowball effect.
Yeah. And so my mom couldn't understand why the lady was trying to defend the other one. And I'm like, because that's the ancestral thing that they do. They don't want to lose their friends.
Yep.
They would rather lose you because you're replaceable.
Yep.
But that executive to them is everything.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, because that person can probably fund their movie.
Yes.
That person may be someone that's a connection to, star in the next role. It's a cesspool.
Yeah.
It really is a cesspool. It's so sad to say that because I worked in it for so long and I loved it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to, but now that I'm on the outside of it looking in, think of all those people. And I don't want to say poor people because we all make choices, right? I made choices. Yeah. I stayed in it because I was making really damn good money. Was I selling my soul to the devil? Yes. Absolutely. I mean, Satan was like, there's another one, right? And, now you've got all this insanity with what's going on with Israel and Palestine, and it's getting really interesting. Yeah. It is, as my friend Michael once wrote a paper about television, it is a hotbed of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And that is the best way you could ever describe it. It is truly a hotbed of hypocrisy, and people sell their souls every single day. Yeah. For Garland.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it. At the end of the day, for Garland, that's what you sold your soul for. That's what you felt in that moment. You needed to be a buffer and protect yourself by throwing somebody else under the bus because a mistake was made by an assistant. Ass is an assistant, just so you know.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for my mom. She's going to hear this. She might be upset. She might not. I told her it had to be said. It had to be told because it goes with the theme of everything. And I want people to understand this happens to people who work behind the scenes and people who work at these homes. And it's never changing. You might think that it is. They might go on television and be like, we're changing our culture around. They're not. It's all the same, and it'll always stay the same.
Yeah.
So...
That's crazy. Yeah, it's always, a mean girl. That's so crazy. But on the plus side, on the positive side, television may seem like a very large environment, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a very small circle of people. And so I feel that if this kind of gets out, people will be like, oh, I don't know her name or his name or whoever the person is. But if word gets out, it's kind of a plus. They'll be like, oh, this person actually told this person no. Let's hire her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It actually may close one door, but open a window of opportunity for your mom where other people are like, oh my God, I fucking hated that person. Yeah. Like, that's awesome.
The enemy's
let's hire her to do whatever, right? And then they'll be like, oh, she said no to so-and-so. Yeah. Hire her. Exactly. That means she's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, even being a business owner, if you're really good at what you do and you stand by it and you don't cave into the pressures of television or whomever in general, of these assholes that, think that they're somebody and they're not.
They're not.
Again, we all wipe our asses with our left or our right hand.
And everybody can be replaced. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Because even the squeaky wheel gets replaced sometimes. So, this could be a positive spin. Yeah. Come next year, your mom may be really busy for Thanksgiving and for the holidays because people are like, yeah. All it takes is one.
Oh, yeah.
All it takes is one. That's a crazy story. Well, me, since, we're talking about me. So me, on the other hand, I had a very busy week, with my, the job that I was auditioning for. She kept me an additional week. So it's a lot. I'm the eyes for the lady that can't see, right? And it's been working out really, really well, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of, I'm exuding a lot of energy because you are making sure it's like you're making sure she doesn't run into things. Yeah. And there was one day where she was like in a hurry to go over and she was like running into everything. And I was like, I was getting
anxiety.
Nervous. Yeah. And I was stressing out because I'm like, oh my God, she's in my care and she's like a pachinko machine. She's all bing, 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 bing.
I wonder if she was testing you though, to see how you would respond to that.
Oh, I did. I was like, you need to slow down. I put my hand on her. I was like, you need to slow down. I was like, hold the phone. Yeah. Relax. What do you need?
Yeah.
I mean, she climbed on top of the washing machine, and I was like, I'm going to pass out. And I got, what are you doing up there? I come around the corner, and she's standing on top of the washing machine trying to get something from above the dryer and the washer. And I was like, what the heck? What is going on? So, it was a little bit of a stress, and but she's lovely. She really is absolutely lovely, and I would love to help her further. And I think that's the way that it's heading, and it will start in January because it's been very slow on the old Western Front. I had to ask a family member for some help, and thank you, family member. I'll keep you anonymous, but I appreciate your help so much because it was tight. It's tight. They raised the rent. And, listen, I've been doing it by myself for quite a few years now. So I think I deserve a little bit of credit when it comes to that. But everybody's struggling.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. Everyone you talk to, it's everything expensive. Food's expensive. I mean, God, I made Rice Krispies for Thanksgiving and it was like $40.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, for marshmallows, it's $5?
That inflation's
it's
getting bad.
Air and sugar. So now I'm like on the hunt to figure out how to make my own marshmallows because I am like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's too much.
How do you make Rice Krispies? How do you make puff cereal? I'm going to be growing wheat in the backyard.
Speaking of new jobs, I actually got a new job So I will be now working and editing for a decking company located in Oxnard.
Oh my God, you should totally tell Dana.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do out there
Really?
in New Hampshire. Oh my God, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And if all goes well, we might have a sponsor for the show. But later date to be determined.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
I will go in a thong and sit on some deck. They're like, that's not what we want.
And we don't have a sponsor anymore.
Not what we want. I'm like, that's what your handler said. I'm here to get decked. Oh my God, just think of all the dirty things they could do with that. Okay, anyway, so sorry. But yeah, so, congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you too.
I don't know if it's a congratulations. Let me tell you, I've gained a little weight. I mean, I will say this. She doesn't like to cook. But I mean, granted, she's blind. So I don't blame her. So I think I'm going to start making some meals because she wants to eat out all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. And so, I've never had the habit in my entire life. Do you know what the habit is?
Never? You've
No.
never had it?
You know what it is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so it's like a hamburger joint.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know the first one started in Santa Barbara, right?
I had no idea.
No? You've never had it?
I've never had it. I did not know the amazing things that are to be had at the Habit. And I do realize now why it is called
The
Habit. She's like, I want a burger. I'm like, I haven't had a burger in a while. Sure, let's go, right? And so we go, and I ordered the Santa Barbara. Have you had that before?
I have it because that's the one with the guacamole, right?
They say avocado,
Yeah,
guacamole,
yeah.
avocado.
I don't like it, so I don't get that one.
So just get it without it.
Yeah, I
But
guess
it's on
I could.
sourdough with two patties, cheese.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so fucking delicious. It was so good. And I only ate half of it, right?
Oh, you didn't eat the whole thing?
No, I ate the whole thing because I was like, right? I was so full. Oh, and then they have their sides.
Yeah.
Their sides are insane. They've got sweet potato fries, regular French fries, and they have deep fried fucking edamame. No, asparagus.
Is it
Edamame
asparagus or is it green beans? It's green beans.
Oh, green beans.
Green
Yes,
beans,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you. I need to go get some. So they have these deep fried tempura green beans that are literally heaven on earth.
Did you get the ranch?
Yes,
The ranch
I
is
did.
so
And it they give you little tiny things, and you're like, it's like liquid white gold. You're like,
So good.
right? So she's eating her food, and I'm like, holy shit, this is delicious. My heart was like,
I can't believe you've never had it before.
no, but because I make my own food. I don't.
That's true.
Remember too, I have to watch because of my high blood pressure. And I'm trying to get off of my medicine completely, and I've weaned myself down to a half a pill every other day, which is good because the swimming has. It, really increased my endurance, and I'm doing really well. So I want to come off the medicine, right?
Yeah,
That's the goal. And they always say, oh no, once you're on it, you never come off. Well, I'm going to prove people wrong because I'm my own handler. But going back to the habit, so I was like, oh fuck, I want this again. Because my problem is when I eat something good, I eat it 3 times in a row, right? So I had to fight every day. I'm I can't go over there. I can't. No. But even today, I thought to myself, oh my, I think I want to go to the Habit. And I'm like, no, it's so good. So good.
Try the
so
little
good.
chicken bites with the honey mustard.
Oh no, I can't do that. Oh my God, I can't do that. But no, listen, thinking of chicken bites, speaking of chicken bites, I have to share this story. So, she just started a chain reaction in me. And it's been Corner Bakery. And it's been, Starbucks. And I don't eat like that.
Yeah.
I don't eat like that. So a couple of times I've had to just say no. But Corner Bakery is fucking delicious too.
It's really good. It's hella expensive, but
Yes.
it's really, really good.
What is up with that? Now, granted, she pays for it because I'm helping her, but I don't want to get in that habit.
Yeah.
I like making my own food, and I go home and I'm like, should I make my split pea soup or should I go the Habit? Right? It's awful. It's such a chain reaction of horrible events. And listen, the food's good, but nothing will ever taste as good as when I make my own food. So, with all that being said, it kind of set up this chain reaction of I haven't had that in a long time, and I haven't had that in a long time, right? So I was driving through the valley the other night, and it was really slow, and I'm like, I'm done. I've worked. I'm tired. My eyes were kind of I was falling asleep. I'm like, I don't want to drive more people. This is good. I'd worked all day in the morning with her, and then I was driving at night to kind of make up for the difference.
Yeah.
And I drove by what Jurgen used to call hate food, which is Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A.
right? And and they have the most delicious peppermint candy cane shake.
Really?
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's so good. And listen, I love peppermint because my mom loves mint.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where I got it from, because she would buy like junior mints or any type of mint, and then she would freeze it.
Yeah.
So they'd be like cool and it'd be minty. And like, I don't know if you ever had junior mints.
Yeah.
But junior mints, if you freeze them, they're just absolutely delicious frozen, right? I freeze all my candy. So anyway, so back to Chick-fil-A. So I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna go get, am I gonna get hate food? And so no, of course not. I'm not gonna eat hate food. No, because I'm a fatty, right? I'm totally a fatty. And I thought, the McRib is back.
Which I've never had, so you have to tell me.
God.
Is it worth trying?
Oh my God. So listen, here's the way that it works out. The McRib comes out once a year.
Yes.
So I only have it one time a year. I will not repeat myself. I will not go back again. I only have it one time. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to do hate food Chick-fil-A peppermint shake, and then I'm going to go to McDonald's and I'm going to get their French fries and a McRib, right? So, now I've got this hair up my butt and I've had a long day and I wanted to treat myself.
Yeah.
And I thought a shake, a McRib, and a French fry. How bad can that be? Oh, how wrong I was. So, I get my peppermint shake and I'm like, oh, it's so delicious.
I'm
like,
try that.
oh, they got that because they're really thick.
Yeah, they're
so
good
it's like,
shakes.
It's like
I
real
just never
ice
had that
cream. It's like whipped cream. But it's got this like peppermint swirl, and it's got this like, I don't know, it's like white chocolate or it's like white peppermint bark. I don't know, but it's got crunchies in it. It's really good. And you know what? To be honest, now that I think about it, I probably could duplicate it at home. In fact, I know that I could. But there's just something about pulling up and then going boop, boop, boop.
Let me get it, yeah.
And then getting the heck out, right? So then I go down and I'm in Encino now. And I know that there's a McDonald's on Ventura Boulevard before I get to my home. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop pulling here, right? And it's kind of a backwards McDonald's. So you drive in, but where you pick up your food is where you drive in. So it's kind of confusing because you don't see a window, like to a menu.
Yeah.
So it's weird because you have to drive around to the back and order, and then you come around to the front. And that's where you get your food. So it's like a weird loop, right? And if I wasn't drunk, but if you're drunk or you're not paying attention,
you're gonna get lost.
You're gonna go right to the window and be like, I'm here. And they're gonna be like, you gotta order, right? So I pull up to the thing, and a long time ago, I had loaded the McDonald's app. I'd never used it.
Yeah.
But in the moment, I just saw McRib. And for those of you that don't know what a McRib is, it is probably vegan, but yet they tout it as a pork thing. It is a lump of meat, if you can call it meat. I'm not sure what it is. It's like molded into look like it's actual bones, and it's not. And they slather it with this like barbecue sauce that's completely different from the barbecue sauce that they serve on the side for McNuggets, right?
Yeah.
And so you're like, can I get extra pickles? Can I get extra barbecue sauce? And they're hating on me at this point, right? It's just one McRib. And they're like, that might be extra. I'm like, that's fine, whatever, I don't care. It's a splurge night. I'm splurging. And so I order a French fry. And then as I'm ordering on the menu, I spy holiday pie.
So you went for it. You got the holiday pie plus the shake? Oh, my God.
Oh, my double chin. So feeding the double chin because she was hungry. The double chin needed a little nutrients. So the holiday pie, if you don't know what it is, it's like this like pastry crust, which is there's probably not even pastry crust to begin with, filled with this like vanilla custard, and there's like little bits of holiday sprinkles in the pastry crust, right? It's actually really good.
I actually saw it the other day. It does look pretty good.
Oh my God, it's so good. So then, anyways, I'll tell you in a sec. So, I order it and I say to the lady on the thing, I said, should I order in the app? Like, is it cheaper? Like, listen, I'm a little frugal right now. That shit's expensive for something that touts that it's meat and it's probably not meat at all. Like, you're getting more meat at the Habit than you are 100%. In that McRib, okay? So I drive around and she doesn't know what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Whatever. So I'm just like, I'm annoyed at this point. I'm like, meanwhile, my shake is melting, right? I don't care about your problems. My shake is melting. I need to get home. So I pull up to the window and I ask her and I go, oh, hi. I said, can you, the app? And she's like, she literally says to me, she looks at me and she goes, no English. And I was like,
like straight?
bitch, you just took my order. Like, what do you mean no English? Right? So I was, a part of me was, do I act like a Karen? Do I like, I kind of got confused because I will say this. I used to work at Taco Bell when I was 15. And if we ever said like no English or that was bad.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
Yeah.
So the fact that she took the liberty to straight out just say to me, no English. And by the way, we're in Encino.
Yeah.
We're not in like, you know,
we're not in the valley.
We're not
in the
Pacoima
Valley.
Well, we're not in a part of the valley where, you know, people speak Spanish fluently,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
What the hell? So I was like, whatever. My shake is melting. I don't fucking care, right? But I'm gonna tell the story on the show, right? And I just was kind of taken aback, and I thought, wow, that scares me that people that come into this country are so lazy that, and maybe I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but I really think it's lazy. I think it's lazy that you're gonna work somewhere, and I think it's even worse for a company like McDonald's to just hire warm bodies.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you that how many people are not willing to work. God bless her for working. But on the other end, it's like, I can't use that excuse.
Yeah.
I can't be driving or in any job ever say to anybody. And by the way, they make like almost $20 an hour.
Yeah.
They make
just got
good
through
money.
that,
Yeah, they make $20 an hour. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to fucking make $20 an hour, your ass better fucking learn a motherfucking pronoun.
Yeah.
Okay? Whatever that may be. And maybe I sound old. And maybe I sound like a racist person, but this is my point of view and my opinion, and I don't think that it sounds racist at all whatsoever to ask that of someone.
Yeah.
Because, you know, communication is key.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, like, God, could you imagine being in school and being like, oh, no English?
Well, ask yourself this question. Could you go live in Germany and work in a German place and not speak the language, or at least try to?
Oh, I would learn it. I mean,
that's what I'm
personally, I would
saying.
learn it. Like,
That's what
I
I'm
would
saying.
definitely
You
learn
would
it.
have to.
Yeah.
I feel like with what's going on now, you don't have to. They don't force you to anymore, especially in California.
God.
Because I have a similar story. I went to Target one time, and I went up to a man. I go, "Sir, I'm looking for this, this, and that." And he looked at me, and he's like, I know English. And I go, "What the fuck?" I was like in Sherman Oaks. I
Yeah.
go, "Okay, I'll just find it."
Or maybe wear a name tag that
Yeah.
says, I don't speak English, which
Yeah.
sounds very German-like, like Nazi, because you're labeling people. But now that I think that just came out of my mouth. But on the other end of it, at least it would give me an opportunity. I wouldn't make assumptions like, you lazy broad. You know what I mean? Like, and she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're going to make more of you?
Nah.
Like, there's more of you, no English is coming out of you, right? Okay, great.
Yep, that's how it goes.
And I know that sounds horrible, but it was, it was just kind of, it just threw me for a loop. And I
Yeah.
was on the phone with my friend. I was like, can you just believe she just said that? She just said that she doesn't speak English. And I'm like, you're working at a McDonald's. Like, if that's not the most American thing ever, I was shocked.
Yeah.
So I'm done with her at this point. I paid my $85 for one McRib and a French fry. And there was no conversation of, did you want a sauce? Do you need anything, right? The next window is where you pick up your order, right? And it's that weird, circular thing, right? And there's no like hi or, your order will be out in a second.
Well, you're asking a lot now. Now that I'm saying, to get a hi at a McDonald's?
Really?
Oh, yeah, with those kind of kids?
These weren't kids.
Even for the adults?
Even the lady that said she didn't speak English, they were not kids. They were adults. They were adults. And then the older lady that told me, like when I came up, she goes, your food's not ready yet. Pull forward. And I was like, all right, whatever. I don't care about that, right?
Yeah.
She said my fries weren't ready. And I was like, well, if it's going to mean I'm going to have hot French fries, then I'm fine with that, right? But she never said, like, what sauces do you want? So when the girl brought my order out, I said, hey, listen, she didn't ask me what sauce is. She just said pull forward. But can I get barbecue, this, and this? And the girl's like, she looked at me too with the same, like, I don't speak English.
Oh my God.
And so I go, ¿hablas español? And she goes, oh, sí. And then she loosened up and she smiled. And
They
I said,
always loosen up when you do
and I was
that.
like, oh my God, this is so crazy. So there I was telling her that I wanted barbecue sauce and all these different things. And I just thought to myself, wow, we're in Encino.
Yeah.
And I don't know. is that bad to think that way? Like,
I mean, there's a flip side to both of that. I mean, somebody would argue like, well, they just came here to work and nobody wants to work, so that's what they're going to hire. But I understand, because for us and our family, the way we grew up and how our grandparents and how our parents grew up, it wasn't okay to speak Spanish. In fact, at a time in California, Southern California, specifically this area, we were only allowed to live in 3 places. One of those is Chavez Ravine.
yeah,
The other one was the San Fernando Valley, and I don't remember the third one. I think it's East LA.
not Simi Valley.
And a lot of people forget that speaking Spanish not only got you in trouble in school, but it was highly frowned upon. And in order for us to fit in at one time, we had to speak English. So there is a generation of us that look like us that don't speak Spanish, and we look down upon those who do because we were raised that way, because we had to fit in. In fact, if it wasn't for us fitting in, the people that come behind us wouldn't be able to do what they're doing today. But it sucks for us because now we're left in the cold. So what do?
No English.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna start using that from now on. People get in the car, no English, but you're driving a Mercedes. No English, right? That's my new thing. No English. No English. No English.
But it is sad and it's tough. It's getting different. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it really is.
Getting
Am I old? I don't know.
It's just things are changing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So you know, after all that, right? My shake is melting. So at this point, I just want my fries. And let me tell you, I totally had to steal a French fry. And if you're one of those people that can't wait till you get home, I always shun friends, right? When we get the food and they're the first ones to go in the bag, I'm like, excuse me, you're eating my fries, right? Like, you're out driving like Cruella, you're trying to get home quickly, and they're like, you're eating the fries. Why are you eating the fries? Jurgen used to do that. He'd eat the fries, and then he'd get home and eat his fries. I'm like, you mother.
And there's no fries for you left.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, right? So I was by myself. I'm like, I can eat all I want, right? And let me tell you, they were absolutely delicious. The only negative to McDonald's French fries is that they expire in 30 seconds. You can count on your watch as the time ticks down, because the moment that those French fries become room temperature, it's over.
Yeah.
They solidify. They taste like the dehydrated potato
Dehydrated mess
gluten that they are. You get all the chemicals in one bite, right? But when they're hot, they are just like so
They're the
sinful
best.
and delicious. Oh my God. So I take out my food home because I got my little shake. And of course I'm crazy, right? I like enjoy hot food like my mother. I guess I got that from her. And so I really make eating sometimes a process. I just enjoy myself. Like, if you're going to do it, I don't just hork it down like some people would. Like, you turn around and the food's gone, right? So I put my shake in the freezer so that it would kind of get a little more solidified. Like, it would be, like, yummy.
Nice and fresh.
Nice and fresh. And then I took the McRib and I took the meat out and I put the bread in the toaster.
How did I know you were going to say that?
Yeah.
I've been around you for like 2 years.
Good. And then I took the meat and I put the meat in a pan because I'm really trying not to use my microwave, right?
Yeah.
So I put the meat in my little tiny pan and I turned the heat on low and I could hear the pretend meat sizzling away, right? And I took the extra pickles and I took the extra sauce and I put barbecue sauce on it as it sizzled away the fake meat, the faux meat.
Yeah.
And so, then I got the French fries. I pretty much had eaten almost all of them on the way home, which is a very short ride.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're only down the
It's
corner.
like the 4 fries I had left, I was like, it's fine, whatever. It's no big deal. So I pulled the plate out, and then the ding. So I pulled the toast out. I put the meat on there. I put more sauce. I put more pickles. And then I put my shake out. And then I sat my little fat ass at my table. And I was like, and it was absolutely delicious. I'm sure none of it at all whatsoever is good for you at all. I was like checking my blood pressure next morning. I'm like, it's a little high because of all the sodium.
Yeah.
But that's what kills you.
Oh, yeah.
Just that one meal, and it shot my blood pressure up because my blood pressure is really good.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was that meal. I knew it wasn't the habit because I checked after the habit. I was a little afraid.
Well, the habit's a little bit more fresh.
Yeah.
Those vegetables are real. Unlike McDonald's, you don't know where they get them from.
You don't know. Is there vegetables in there? Like, I don't even know.
It's
Like,
just solidified sugar.
I mean, that pork. I mean, I'm sure there's not any type of pork in it at all. It's like buttholes and lips or something, right? Ugh, a gay man's dream. But yeah, so that's my one time of having the McRib every single year. It's very seasonal. Comes out in the winter because it's thick and probably will kill you in the summer. And so McDonald's markets it in the winter when people can at least burn the calories off and they don't die. So that was my fun little, like, I wouldn't say it's a cheat meal because ever since I started watching The Lady, I've been cheating quite a bit.
Sounds more like a journey with what you had to deal with.
Yeah. And that was just one meal. And then I sat there and I'm like, I probably could have made my own. And I hate that. I hate that. I spent all that money and I probably could spend that money and I could have made 6 McRibs of my own.
You get that from your mom. Your mom says that all the time.
Yeah.
I know I could make my own. And every time I hear you say that, I go, oh, you get that from your mom.
God, let me tell you. So now I'm on the hunt for like a peppermint syrup and the peppermint candies because I'm gonna make my own
Peppermint shakes.
my own hate food shakes.
Doesn't Godiva make a peppermint like syrup?
Probably or a bark of some sort. I'll look into it. I'm gonna eventually. I'm going to duplicate it. So, yeah, that was my crazy week. And
I think we both had some crazy weeks.
Yeah, I had some crazy weeks. I will say this, too, in my pool updates. I have a small one. It's not a big one. But nothing major other than, so I've been swimming at the pool for about 2 years. And, my blood pressure went from death to now it's actually pretty good.
Livable.
Yeah. Like you're going to live. Right. And so in that process, you encounter lots of people every single day. In this particular instance, there's this one guy and he's so good looking. He's so good looking. And I know that I would never be his type because I'm a bigger guy.
Yeah.
And he's Middle Eastern or something, but he's gorgeous. And he always wears those little tiny briefs. And he's super short. He's way too short for me. I like tall guys. Definitely way too short. But there's just something cute about him, right? And so I always have tried to work up enough courage. And the other day, I hadn't seen him for a long time. Because all the ladies at the pool when we take our class are always oogling him and oh my God. Right? And it's so funny because they're all 80. And some are not all of them are 80, but the majority are up there in their years.
Older. Yeah, they're older.
They're older, and so it's really always funny to hear them Danny, did you see that guy? Danny's that. I'm oh my God, you should be working out, right? You shouldn't be oogling the men. And
they're worse than men.
And in my sunglasses, I'm all looking around. And so I hadn't seen him since probably the beginning of summer. So he was back the other day, and he just so happened to be swimming in the lane next to me, and I was like.
It's your time, D.
So my hair was wet, my sunscreen was on.
Did you come up like Little Mermaid?
Yeah. Live action. And I just was whatever, who fucking cares? What's the worst that could happen, right? We could end up getting married. That's the worst. Then you guys sign a prenup and all the other crazy things. So I just nonchalantly, I was hey, welcome back. I haven't seen you for a while, right? Expecting him to respond and be yeah, no, something with a little more enthusiasm. He straight looked at me and was I was in China.
Just deadpan.
And I was oh. Okay, whoa. Right? Cricket. And I go, well, welcome back. And he goes, well, I was only there for a month. And I went, oh my God. So that is what we call in the gay community, nice camera, no film. Yeah. Nice camera. It's shiny.
Instant
That's
turn
about
off,
it.
huh?
Yeah, it was done. And I just sat there and I was wow, okay, great. Dodged a bullet on that one. Dodged a bullet. Yeah, dodged a bullet. And I hate to end the show on a really sad note, but I just want to say my condolences to my very good friend Philip. Philip and I met in Rancho Mirage when I opened up the Cheesecake Factory out there. When I met him, we became instant friends. And we've been friends ever since. And he unfortunately suffered a huge loss to his family. His mother unfortunately passed away Thanksgiving morning. So with whatever you believe in, no matter what side of the religion spectrum that you fall on, if you could just send some healing and some loving thoughts to he and his family in regards to the loss of their matriarch, his mother, I would really appreciate it. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy your week. Love yourselves, love your life, and remember to always do it like Danny.